You give this person so much hope for the future as far as love is concerned with the energy of the star. This is somebody, it feels like, who is thanking their lucky stars at this particular point in time that they didn't either settle into an energy of pessimism or jadedness, or if they found themselves in that energy, that it didn't become something that was just like set in stone, that there was like a little grain of hope left inside and it was waiting for you to come along and kind of add fuel to the fire, so that there is now kind of the sense of that they are looking towards the future and thinking, the best years of my life are not behind me. They are, in fact, happening right now. You are the person that they have been waiting for. You are providing them with an experience that feels very much like this could be the love of a lifetime. This is somebody that, it feels like this at this particular point in time, it's almost like crying tears of joy. But this may be something where it's like you've actually helped to sort of lift a dark cloud off of this person. Something where they had just kind of gotten frustrated. They just sort of given up. Maybe love and partnership isn't for me. Maybe I missed my soulmate somewhere along the road, way back when, and it's too late to turn back the hands of time. Everybody that I loved or messed up with, they're now married, they're happy with other people. That ship has sailed, the time has come and gone for that. And this person kind of just like settled almost into a rut within themselves of thinking like, well, I guess I have to just love myself. I just have to be my own best friend. Kind of like, if love is meant for me, then it'll come along, but I don't see anyone coming, so I guess it's not meant for me. And now you have showed up, and this is somebody that's almost kind of like perked up, like, ooh, okay, here's that blessing. Here's that answered prayer. Here's that wish fulfillment. This person sees that you fit very beautifully in with who they are at this particular point in time. This is almost somebody that feels like if they had met you at an earlier chapter in their life, they almost feel like they probably would have fumbled this. They would have mishandled it in some way. They wouldn't have been able to appreciate all that you are, all that they become in your presence. And so there's almost a sense of like, good things do come to those who wait, or it's kind of like saving the best for last. So some of you could be, older, a little further on in life, where kind of like the things you're wanting to manifest, or the idea of what relationship and partnership and, so sort of like building a home with another person, what that would look like. It's very different than, say, somebody, just sort of starting out in life, or kind of, they got the whole future wide open in front of them. And so this is somebody that really is now starting to feel like, I didn't miss out on anything at all, because you were always this kind of person. This experience here and now that is happening in real time, this was what I was waiting for. This is what I needed to find and experience. This is also someone who is very grateful now for the disappointments of the past. It's almost like they couldn't really fully perceive wish fulfillment until they had tasted disappointment, which again ties into that energy of like, if I had met you when I was younger, if I had met you, before mistakes in love, or, things that happened that left me heartbroken, or, character shaping moments just in their life in general, there's a sense of like they don't feel that they could have appreciated you and your presence and this experience, and they wouldn't have been able to connect with you so deeply, energetically, emotionally, and actually, because their priorities were different. They were, so operating in the energy of like naive, or very much in their ego in some sort of way. So this is definitely somebody who could have tamed their ego somewhere along the road, before coming into contact with you, before meeting you. And there's a sense like, this version of me is properly equipped to love this version of you. I know what not to do in love now, and so I can make sure that I am doing my best to do everything right with you, to show up with you as like this version of myself, that the best of me, the best of you, the best of us, it's here right now, and we can continue sort of moving in that direction on good days and on bad days, hand in hand, moving forward as one towards the future. We also have the Eight of Wands. So this person loves the way that you communicate. These special little things that you say to one another, inside jokes, a way in which you're able to even just kind of like energetically communicate with one another. There's no need for words, and yet they love the sound of your voice. They love how they are able to express themselves to you. You just get one another. This is something where this person feels like, I could never get tired of talking to you. This is somebody that looks forward to, all night conversations where you're talking about everything, and all of a sudden the sun's come up, but you've been really in the midst of the moment with one another, and it's like, it's okay that I have to go to work on only a couple of hours of sleep, because just that exchange, those precious moments between the two of us, it means so much. It is so, energizing, or deeply fulfilling. This person finds your mind to be very fascinating. They want to hear your perspectives on so many things. This is somebody that feels as well that kind of their vision of what the future was going to look like, plans that they were making, or directions that they thought that they were headed in. There's a sense of like, I'm open to suggestions that you have for something else, for something different. They're starting to think about those long-term plans and like how you could factor into that. This may be somebody as well who wants to start talking about those future plans with you. But rather than this just being something where you're kind of like, taking up airspace with one another, just, talking about whatever, this is somebody that wants to really follow through on those plans. So this isn't like, okay, let's talk about what happens 20 years down the road, but let's kind of like make a plan for next month. Let's plan something for next week. Let's plan something for tomorrow and actually follow through on that. This is somebody that wants to have more closeness, have more experiences with you, have more direct communication with you, because they find you to be fascinating. They find these conversations and these interactions to be very stimulating, energetically, intellectually. This is something where it's almost kind of like, I could talk to you about anything. I could talk to you for hours. It's given like best friend and lover energy. So this person may feel very inclined to like confide in you. They may have already confided things in you. They've opened up to you in a way that doesn't usually happen with others, or doesn't usually happen this quickly. Like, it just feels natural for this person to let their guard down in your presence, to kind of take all that armor off, because you just understand. You understand where they're coming from, or maybe you've had like very similar experiences. You've walked parallel paths. You're able to kind of understand, deeply rooted aspects of one another that like other people in your lives, they can't really relate to, or their perspective on things, or how they would have handled things would be different. The way in which, sort of the demands of life, or experiences of like disappointment and victory, how that has shaped the two of you. Even if it might look very different on the surface level, there's a sense of kind of like kindred spirit energy. It's like, yeah, we were made for one another. Maybe not right from the start, but we have been shaped into two people who are a perfect fit, even for all our imperfections. We also have the Queen of Wands, so they find you to be incredibly sexy. You are somebody that is kind of like their dream girl or their dream guy come to life. There are times where this person can only just kind of like sit there and think, wow, how did I get so lucky to encounter someone like this in the flesh, in real time? And they're single, you're single, there's nothing standing between the two of you. And so this is somebody who is, very compelled to explore this further. They want to get to know you more. They want to spend more time with you. They have all kinds of thoughts, different sorts of scenarios, spicy thoughts, as well as things that are a little more tame. It's the full range of like, I want to have every kind of experience with you. I want to know what you look like first thing in the morning. I want to, see your eyes kind of glisten late at night when we're just up talking, or we're up watching movies late, or you're kind of sleepy, or you're wide awake, or whatever that sort of looks like. This person like imagines this all. You definitely have this person deep in fantasy land, but it doesn't feel to be anything that is like a floaty or kind of like flaky energy. This is something where it's like, no, you're here in real time. This connection is happening. These experiences are drawing them in closer to you, and so deeper fantasies that they've had a whole range of fantasies, from things again that are sort of tame to things that are very spicy. It's kind of like, yeah, I think that we could explore that with one another. I think that that would be something that would be very doable. We could create that kind of like bliss, that happiness, that full range of things that can be sort of like viewed and visible in the light of day, as well as these kind of private experiences that are just between the two of us. This person feels also very confident in your presence, very confident to express themselves in a way that like previous partners might have made them very self-conscious. Certain things they didn't want to express, or parts of their personality that they kind of kept hidden, fantasies that they're like, I don't think this person would be into that, they wouldn't be open-minded, I don't feel confident or comfortable enough to kind of present that or to explore that. That's not the case with you. It's sort of like, okay, let's just kind of dive in fully. Let's just kind of, unleash ourselves. Let's just be free with one another. And the beauty of all of that is something that, it feels very like, even if we get things wrong, or, it doesn't really feel right in the midst of the moment, this is something that doesn't make this person almost like feel embarrassed or want to like tuck away into their shell. It's just like, okay, there was a learning experience, so let's move on into something else. You definitely bring out the best in this person, because whether this is how you are normally, or just how you are in their presence, they see you as somebody who is like radiating this fearless authenticity, this profound sense of personal freedom within. Like, who you are, and you're not afraid to showcase that to the world. And so it has emboldened this person as well to kind of unrestrict themselves in some sort of way, in terms of like how they usually sort of hold back or keep parts of themselves hidden from others, or in previous romances how it was just kind of like aspects of themselves were just sort of not invited. It wasn't the right kind of connection, it wasn't the right sort of experience. They didn't feel confident in being like the fullest expression of themselves, or even this very kind of curious or exploratory energy. We also have the Six of Swords. Yeah, so this is somebody that wants to have more meaningful experiences with you, more time with you, more contact with you. They want to go out on dates. They want to go do things. This is somebody who wants to travel. They imagine traveling the world with you. This person may have like a bucket list of places that they want to go, or things they want to see or do. And they're starting to kind of think like, okay, maybe I don't need to wait till I retire to do those things. Maybe this is something like we could go on that adventure now. Maybe this is not the kind of thing where it's like, okay, I just have to go with friends or family, or go by myself. Maybe this is like, I've got a +1. Maybe you're the person to see these sites with. You're the kind of person that like it would go from just an experience to like a true adventure. So don't be surprised if this person starts to kind of like talk about those things, ask you about those things, kind of like, what would you think if we did this? Have you ever wanted to go here? What are some of your kind of like places that you'd want to go, things that you'd want to do? So again, this is not just somebody that wants to have this like adventurous, spicy relationship with you, although they do imagine like kissing you on balconies across the world. They do imagine kind of like watching the sunrise or the sunset in different countries. They imagine what that would be like to kind of like flood your social media feed with these like travel photos, these happy photos, the kind of things that make other people cringe, kind of like, ooh, look at that happy couple, look at all the fun that they're having, look at all these little adventures and the travels that they are on at this point in time. This person almost feels like the two of you could be this couple where people are like, oh great, they've gone somewhere else, they're traveling, where are they at now, what are they doing now? Things that this person might have almost felt like, yeah, that would be nice, or that's something in the future, I don't have anyone to go with, so I don't think I'm going to go do that. Now they're starting to think in those terms because you're that right person to go with them. We also have the High Priestess. So this person loves that there is, as much as you're like kind of a free spirit, you're very authentic, you're very expressive, there's so much about you that is like a mystery, an aspect about you that it's like will only be unlocked when a certain level is transcended between the two of you. This is somebody that is very like curious about your hidden side. They don't want to push though, and they know that it is not something that they can access through manipulation, or through like mind games, or anything like that. But it's kind of almost like patience. There's an aspect of you that it feels like they know will come to the surface at the right time. This is somebody that's willing to put in the work to earn access to that. They have a lot of respect for you as a person, for how you live your life, whatever your life experiences have been like, whether they know some of these things or they don't know a lot of that have shaped you into who you are at this moment in time. They understand and see that you are a person of integrity and character, and the kind of integrity and character that really only becomes apparent when life challenges us. You've been forged in the fires of whatever you have gone through, whether these are romantic things or things in your life. And this person absolutely adores and is very grateful for the fact that it's like you've made it this far in your life, and you are not somebody else's blessing that they just have to like desire from afar, that you've made it this far in life, and here you are shining so bright, like the brightest star in the sky, certainly in their sky. And that the energies are right, the experience is right, you are open to them, you are receptive to them, you are generous to them, with what it is that you kind of share and showcase about yourself. And this is something where they see you as that blessing. This is somebody that wants to like let you know that they want to shower you with affection, but they don't want you to like become overwhelmed or become very self-conscious about that. But they do celebrate you. Again, they have a lot of respect for who you are as a person. So even if like your lifestyle is different from theirs, this is something where it's like they trust that fully. They're kind of like, you have leaned upon whatever you've needed to lean upon, or something has drawn you towards it, or whatever you've needed to do to like pick up the pieces of your life, or keep hope alive through your own sort of series of disappointments and heartbreaks. Like, I respect that fully. I'm on board with that fully. I'm curious about that. I want to learn more. I want to know more. I love the effect of the energy and the presence that you bring into my life. I can't imagine myself aligning with anyone. There's like nobody else that I want to be with. It's you. It's like you're that hidden treasure. You're that surprise. When they weren't looking for it, all of a sudden you appeared. You've come into their life, and this is somebody that is like they're redefining those terms of what the future means, what love means, what partnership means, compared to, what they thought it would be like, where they are in their life at this point now, where they thought that they were headed. This is now somebody that is like, I am making space quietly, energetically, emotionally, internally, for you to take up even greater residence in my life, for you to, come in closer, for us to build more of an understanding with one another, more intimacy with one another, more beautiful experiences with one another. This is somebody that does not want to miss this opportunity with you. They are on board fully, and they are looking forward to the unveiling of like every new experience, every new surprise between the two of you. They look forward to the future, and they envision you as the person by their side. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.